Hola y bienvenido a Learn Spanish en SpanishDict.com. Soy Paralee Whitmire y soy tu profesora. Hoy aprenderás el pretérito y los viajes como viajé a España, tomaste un taxi y mucho más. ¡Vámonos! Bueno, what's past is past, and you can just forget about it. In English, anyway. Spanish, as you might have guessed, has a few tricks up its sleeves to be as different as possible when it comes to the past. Like I said, the past is past in English. There's only one way to put it. I climbed the steps. We traveled to Spain. He studied Spanish. For the most part in English, you just add ed to the end of a verb to put it into the simple past tense. Of course, there are tons of irregular verbs like took for take, left for leave, read for read, and saw for see, and tons of others. But all in all, the past is the past in English. In Espanol, however, there are actually two ways to talk about the past. One, which we will learn about today and in the next few lessons, is called the preterite, and it is what we usually refer to as the simple past. The other form of the past, which you will learn about a bit later, is called the imperfect indicative and is generally used to convey the idea that the action is incomplete or it doesn't have a specific beginning and end. But that's another lesson. So let's get back to the preterite. Really knowing one tense can help you a lot when it comes to learn that second one. So let's get to it. Like I said in the beginning, hoy aprenderás del pretérito y los viajes. Los viajes are travels, and of course, my favorite reason for learning a new language. And if you're going to be doing any traveling, you can be sure that the people you meet on your travels will want to know all about where else you have traveled, what you have seen, how you got around, and all kinds of other questions. And lucky for us, almost all of the things you do while traveling around are going to be in the preterite tense, since they have a pretty specific beginning and end. So let's take a look at a few examples, and I'll give you the translations along the way. See if you notice anything special or any patterns. Yo leí un libro de frases útiles en el avión. I read a book of useful phrases on the plane. Leí un libro de frases útiles en el avión. Viste la fuente enorme por la primera vez. You saw the giant fountain for the first time. Viste la fuente enorme por la primera vez. Subió las escaleras para ir al segundo piso. He climbed the stairs to go to the second floor. Subió las escaleras para ir al segundo piso. Tomamos un taxi al museo. We took a taxi to the museum. Tomamos un taxi al museo. Salisteis del hotel a las 9 de la mañana. You left the hotel at 9 in the morning. Salisteis del hotel a las 9 de la mañana. Viajaron a Cádiz hace 3 días. They traveled to Cádiz 3 days ago. Viajaron a Cádiz hace 3 días. Ahora, I'm sure you noticed that the endings are all kinds of different, but we'll get to those in a second. First, did you notice what kinds of actions you saw? Leí, viste, subió, tomamos, salisteis, viajaron. All of these verbs indicate an action that happened with a very specific beginning and end at one specific point in time. There are a few verbs in Spanish that really shine in the preterite that communicate an instant change in action in the past and begun and were completed at a very definite moment in the past. Like, ella nació. She was born. This happened at a very specific point and began and ended pretty definitely. Also, él se murió. He died. He died at a very specific moment in the past. These verbs are certainly a once-in-a-lifetime action that happen and end in a very specific moment. Think of all preterite conjugations like this. They must have a specific beginning and end at a specific moment in time. This is pretty much how we as English speakers think of the past anyway, so you should have no problems. Let's get to the conjugations. I know you are so excited to learn some new verb endings, so get out the paper and pencil and get ready for a whole bunch of new endings. Actually, the preterite is pretty easy when it comes to the endings, since there are only two different sets. One set of endings for AR verbs, and another set shared by the ER and IR verbs. Let's start with the AR verbs, and the ER and IR will seem like cake. You already saw two in the first few examples. Tomamos un taxi al museo. Tomamos. Viajaron a Cádiz hace 3 días. Viajaron. So those are the first person plural and the third person plural endings. Notice anything strange about that tomamos ending? It's the exact same ending as the regular present indicative for the first person plural. You'll usually know if the verb is in the present or the preterite due to the context. If someone is telling you a story about their trip to Spain, do you think they would say, "We take a taxi to the museum," or "We took a taxi to the museum"? Took. Very rarely do people throw lots of different tenses into one conversation, so keep in mind, when you are listening to someone tell a story and you all of a sudden hear a present tense verb like tomamos, it could probably be the preterite, they just have the same ending. Okay, enough jabbering. You need the rest of the endings for the AR verbs. For yo and all of the other verbs, you're going to use the same stem that you use for all of your regular simple present conjugations. But instead of adding an O to the end for the yo form, you'll add an E with a tilde above it. Tomé un taxi. For tú, the informal you, you'll add aste to the end of the stem. Estudiaste español por 4 horas. For él, ella, and usted, you'll add the letter O with a tilde above it. Él estudió español por 4 horas. Now, it is very, very important to remember those tildes, because not only do they tell you how to pronounce the word correctly by putting the emphasis on the last syllable, but in the written form, they show the reader the difference between the present and preterite tense. Imagine our last sentence if we took away the él. Estudió español. Now this may be a bit ambiguous if the subject wasn't mentioned before. It could be he studied, she studied, or you formal studied. But the little tilde keeps the reader and the listener from mistaking estudió with estudio, I study. The same for the first person. Tomé un taxi can only mean I took a taxi, but tome un taxi can mean he takes a taxi, she takes a taxi, or you formal take a taxi. So the lesson here is that the tilde is always required. Don't try to learn the endings first and then the tildes. You would just be learning something the wrong way and then have to go back and correct yourself later. And no one likes to be wrong, right? Okay, onward with the AR preterite endings. You already saw the ending for the first person plural. Amos, the exact same ending as simple present indicative, so watch out for context clues to figure out what tense is on that one. Tomamos un taxi al museo. For the second person plural in Spain, you will use a form very similar to the second person singular with a little twist. Instead of aste, you'll have astes. Just add an is to the tu form. No accents in this one. Viajasteis a Alemania ayer. And last, you already saw this form. Just add aron to the stem of the verb. Viajaron a Cádiz hace 3 días. I've just been talking away over here, and you have hardly gotten a word in. Let's practice with a bit of these endings. First, I'll show you a picture of the preterite action. I'll give you the subject, the infinitive form of the verb, and 2 different ending options. So you're not totally on your own just yet. You just have to find the stem of the infinitive, pick the correct ending, put the 2 together, and say the whole sentence aloud. Por ejemplo, aquí está una foto de 2 personas y un taxi. You can see ellos is the subject in parentheses there. The infinitive for to take is tomar, and 2 possible endings, aron or o with the tilde above it. First, what is the stem for the verb tomar? Take off the ar and you have tom. And which is the correct ending for ellos in the preterite tense? Aaron. Now say the whole sentence aloud. Tomaron un taxi.